Hi, I'm Jeff Tanenbaum with S&P Capital IQ. I'm a global market specialist, and with me today I've got Joy Jiang, who is our product specialist here at S&P Capital IQ. We're going to be talking a bit about risk mitigation today as it pertains to corporations. Joy, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Jeff.
Appreciate it. So, like my hair growth, there has been a steady decline in defaults here within corporations in North America. Can you talk a little bit to that?
Sure. After the financial crisis started out in 2008, and default rate spiked to multi-year highs in 2009 in terms of number of filings and total assets at default. And this could be largely attributed to the prevalent junk bonds deterioration during the financial crisis. And since 2010, the default rates have started to come down. However, the total assets at default remained quite high for 2011 and 2012. And if you recall, actually there were quite a few large corporates that filed for bankruptcy. So like AMR's bankruptcy in 2011 with total assets of about $25 billion. And in 2012, we have Eastman Kodak filed with total assets of about $1 billion. And as 2013 goes, we are running at a slower pace compared to 2012 with lower number of bankruptcy filings and significantly smaller total assets at default.
Wow. You mentioned AMR, American Airlines. I talk to a lot of airlines all the time, and they're always saying, well, we work in a bad neighborhood, which really means that they're obviously all in bad shape, and it's about picking your poison. To that end, are there any sectors that you see that are really tough sectors right now?
Yeah, for the first half of 2013, we found consumer discretionary sector to be riskier than others because it represented about a quarter of total bankruptcy filings in North America and about 50% of total assets at default. And on the contrary, we found telecom sector outperform others with least number of bankruptcy filings.
Wow. My wife always tells me that I'm not perfect. She reminds me of it every day. And I would assume that one model is not going to be perfect for solving all risk mitigation needs. So do you subscribe to the idea that you would need more than one model?
Sure, definitely. There is no perfect model, and in practice, we and many of our clients actually look at many metrics to derive a holistic view of credit for any entity. For example, you have rating agencies' viewpoint and commentaries to refer for rated entities, and then qualitative and quantitative models to help to complement that. And point in time, probability default models and market signals through the cycle credit model scores. All this can be used together to derive a 360-degree view of credit for any entity and portfolio.
So if consumers are using one credit card to pay off another, we know that's a bad thing. What do we look for when we're looking for commercial credit quality problems?
That's where the point-in-time credit indicators such as probability of default comes into play. So recently we've done a study in July this year about consumer discretionary sector. So we tried to explore which company in this particular sector could likely file for bankruptcy next. So what we found through the study is like Furniture Brands International Inc. Was the company that had the highest likelihood of default among its peers because it had a very high PD of 39%, and the PD stayed above 10% for more than 20 trading days within a month time period. A follow-up deep dive fundamental analysis also proved the point of higher credit risk. And what I want to say in the end is the reality is it turned out the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on September the 9th this year.
So what you're saying in truth is that I might not get my furniture.
I hope you will under the supervision of the Bankruptcy Reorg Committee.
Thanks, Joy, for joining us today.
Sure, thanks, Jeff.
I'm Jeff Tanenbaum. This is Joy Jiang. This is S&P Capital IQ, and thanks for joining us.